Let's get into another secret. Of course, the secrets of charisma, the ability to inspire, the ability to strengthen and energize other people. Of course, that's in the category of empowering others. Let's take a look at a quote. John Cotter said, "Leaders motivate and inspire others to go in the right direction, and they, along with everyone else, sacrifice to get there." So let's talk about blind spot. The blind spot, of course, is inspiration versus desperation. What does that mean? The blind spot is that it is our own knee-jerk reaction, and our standard programming is to use fear and desperation when you're trying to get others to do things. Sure, it works in the short term, but it does not set the standard for long-term inspiration and powerful charisma. Fear is very easy to use and does not take much talent, and it takes little skill. Others have used it on us, and we're going to use it too. It makes us feel a little power when we can use fear or desperation to get others to do what we want them to do. It creates short-term compliance but produces long-term resentment. You don't even realize fear and desperation is your automatic response when your first influence attempt does not work. So what does the research tell us? Most American business professionals are uninspired. Inspirational behavior stimulates enthusiasm among subordinates for the work of the group and builds their confidence in their ability to successfully perform assignments and attain group objectives. Only 10% of employees look forward to going to work each day, and it all points back to lack of leadership. Leaders guide and support the personal growth of their supporters and provide intellectual stimulation. So what's the substance? If you are uninspired, you will not be inspiring. Charismatic people have the ability to instantly lift their moods, adjust their emotions, and change the energy in the room. Being charismatic, inspirational is a full-time job. It is not something you have every once in a while. The people around you expect you to be the one to lift their spirits and inspire them to new heights. When they are down, you are expected to be the one to re-energize and boost their morale. Most people already have plenty of people around them that de-inspire or de-power them. It is refreshing for them to feel hope, energy, and inspiration. When you have the ability to inspire others, they rise to your expectations. They feel part of the team and want to grow and improve themselves. When you see a great charismatic leader that inspires others to new heights, it looks very simple. Everyone around them is inspired and thrive on the high expectations. The difference between using desperation versus inspiration is desperation promotes fear and competition, while inspiration promotes hope and teamwork. In other words, doing things for the good of the team versus striving to beat others down. Desperation is usually rooted in fear. People will not appreciate feeling pressured or that you bullied them with fear. They will resent you, harbor negative feelings toward you, and never want to work with you again. Desperation leads to poor decisions, forces unwanted choices, reduces options, and spawns regrets. Despair is very destructive, and it sucks the life and energy out of people. Your goal is to inspire hope. It was Samuel Smiles that wrote, "Hope is like the sun, which, as we journey towards it, casts the shadow of our burden behind us. Hope sweetens the memory of experiences well loved. It tempers our troubles to our growth and our strength. It befriends us in dark hours, excites us in bright ones. It lends promise to the future and purpose to the past. It turns discouragement to determination." What is the opposite of hope? Despair. But despair comes when we feel powerless to change events or we lose our sense of purpose in life. Despair is a source of disorientation so profound that we lose contact with reality. Most people don't know they are negative people or stuck in despair, but they are sucking the life out of everyone around them. In management, typically the job is getting done, but usually out of fear, not out of inspiration. Anybody can drive someone with desperation, fear, or worry. The problem is desperation is temporary. People who are driven by desperation or fear are typically so preoccupied with what they are trying to get away from that they can't think of anything else, let alone their future. If you want your charisma to last, you need to rely on inspiration, which is rooted in your emotions and your vision. The positive results that come from inspiration are obvious. Inspired people do not need a carrot dangling in front of them to get something accomplished. You don't need to use any fear tactics. When you use inspiration, people become more self-motivated and don't wait for external factors to drive them one way or the other. Getting others inspired is the only way to keep them on track. When you radiate inspiration, you move people away from despair, inaction, and blame. It gives them hope in themselves and in the future. You'll be able to lead and inspire with charisma and the future in mind. So how do you know if you inspire others? How do you know if you promote teamwork? How do you know if you're getting the best out of people? Here are a few potential questions to think about to understand if people are inspired or stuck in desperation. Do they feel better about themselves after interacting with you? That would be inspiration. Do they know you are pleased or grateful for their work? Inspiration. Do they know you truly care and would go to bat for them? Inspiration. Do you listen and care about their suggestions and their feedback? Again, inspiration. Do they get defensive when you critique them? That would be desperation. Do they show little participation and are they afraid to open their mouth? Desperation. Do they blame others or take ownership of their work? When they blame others, that is desperation. So who's our example? That would be George Washington. He was an inspirational leader. We know he was the first president of the United States of America. He was known for his unyielding character and his powerful charisma. As you know from the history books, Valley Forge was a time of little hope, and many were filled with despair. They were camped out for 6 months during the winter, and 25% of George Washington's troops died because of disease and exposure to the elements. Anyone else probably would have lost the dedication and support of their troops. He was always able to inspire hope in his troops and the nation he was crucial in building. During a time of great despair and little hope, he was able to inspire others into action. The key? As you develop charisma, you must inspire others to achieve new levels of success. Most people are stuck in despair and full of hopelessness. You know they are in desperation because they're moving away from something. Your job is to give them hope in their future and focus on inspiration. Inspiration is when they are moving towards something meaningful. What can you do to help someone move from desperation to inspiration? They have tried in the past. They want it, and you get to help them get there. What can you do to inspire hope and help them feel they are capable of doing what you're asking them to do?